Today, I have come to inspire you as a teaching profession to do a miracle under God. We can do a miracle under God. I'd like to say that education as a profession is facing the Red Sea, as it were. If you know the biblical story of the children of Israel, there was a time when they were facing the Red Sea, trying to go where they were going and coming from where they were coming from, but in the middle of that, there was a sea, the Red Sea, facing them. And they had no idea how they could go through the sea and get to the other side, or whether they should just forget and go back. But with God and the man he sent to lead them, Moses, he told him to just use his stick to face the sea, and God would provide dry ground for them. That's what we are facing now as a profession. And it's going to take our faith in the God we believe in and our determination to serve. If you have never done anything great in your life, just know you have it in your bones. You can do it. But it will take a real determination and prayer to the living God that we believe in. I want you people to not just listen to what people are saying all around us. And people have said so much about education in this season. I want you to just not listen. Determine in your heart that we are going to do this and we are going to triumph. As a profession and a servant group to our nation, we are going to show the people in Uganda and people around us in this region that Uganda will do this and our children will excel. As I said, it will take that determination in your heart. Look at that child sitting in front of you and know that that child is a gift from God to his or her family. But God has placed that child in your hands. You are the teacher who's supposed to mold this child and transform this child and ensure that this child will excel and go through this life as an excellent human being. That's what the teaching profession is supposed to mean. You are supposed to give that confidence to that child that they can excel, that they can do well in spite of everything that people are saying, in spite of the fact that they haven't had the time to do the work at school. But if you tell them that the work they have, they can do it, they can read, they can internalize it, they will excel, those children will excel. Today, I wanted to say to you that this is a time, sometimes a time like this comes around. We may use this crisis that we have gone through as a human family. But in Uganda, because we have particularly had a long wait before we could open our schools. And people have said all sorts of things, and the children are listening and perhaps giving up, thinking that really there is nothing they can do about all this. But you are the teacher. God can use you if you allow Him to mold that child into an excellent human being who will excel and go through their education as if COVID-19 did not happen. The results we got recently were a surprise to us, to many of us. But we yet have to show our country and show the region around us that Uganda will not do so badly after all, that we'll overcome this, and all the honor and glory will go to our God. Today, I just wanted to remind you that you are able and that God is really giving you an opportunity. You know, I've been saying many times since I've been in this sector that what I know about teachers is that teachers were supposed to transform villages and transform areas in which they work, not just the child in the classroom. When we don't do that, we're not fulfilling our purpose for God in your life. When we see children failing to get a packed lunch to bring to school, it's because the teacher has failed on their work. Because the teacher is supposed to mobilize the community, the parents, the families, and enable them to know that they have a responsibility to this child, that this child should not just come to school on an empty stomach and is expected to go through the day and learn and understand what the teacher is saying on an empty stomach. So the teachers have been letting down our communities and our children. Now I'm challenging you. When you look at that child, just know that you owe it to them to excel. And remember that you owe it to your village, to your area where you are teaching, to make sure that the parents also play their role, because you are a teacher. That's what teaching means. You're supposed to teach the child and teach the parents and teach the community and transform areas. And God will do the rest for you and your family. Because when you fulfill your purpose, the purpose God meant for your life, God will fulfill your own life and ensure that your family will prosper. Because you are doing God's work. You are looking at others, not just yourself alone. So today, I also have to remind you that we will no longer tolerate unprofessional head teachers who plan for malpractice in exams because they have not taught, because they were not there to know what the teachers were doing. At the end of the term, they plan for malpractice so that some children can pass their exams. But that you will never know what that does to you as a person. It will scar your reputation when you are found out. When you are not found out, just know there is an eye that sees when others are not seeing. And that eye is the one that blesses people. You can't be blessed when you are doing work such as that, because that is the academic corruption, and it's time that that also stops. Because we can't continue to mourn about malpractice at the end of every exam time. I want to ask you to help us to fight that, so that the excellence I'm talking about is not done through malpractice, so that it is done through hard work. That's what it takes to excel, hard work. That's what I'm asking you to be determined to do today. And I know some of you may be saying, but what do we get out of all this? What is our salaries? When are our salaries going to improve? That God I'm talking about is the one who even looks at your salary, the salary you are crying about. You just do what it takes to fulfill your purposes as God designed it, and God will ensure that you get a pay rise.